Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're here and I really just wanted to once again go back to what I'm comfortable with, which is drawing people, actually, yeah, just simply drawing people. That's what I want to do. That's all I ever want to do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that sometimes, sometimes I think it's okay to go back to your comfort zone. Especially whenever you are going through art block, or if you also just don't know what else to draw, which happens a lot to me. Like, I don't know, I have a lot of times where my brain is just kind of blank and empty and I don't know what else I want to do. So I end up just kind of going back to what makes me comfortable and what I have fun doing, which is drawing people and specifically faces and just cool, the way people look aesthetically. It's just, and just studying, I don't know, there's just something about, I don't know, just drawing, like studying a face is just so much fun and it's so interesting. And it's like, I don't know, it's like this weirdly almost intimate thing. And I think it really does make you just appreciate people more. Sorry, this is gonna be like weirdly psychological. I'm like, wow, I just love looking. But it is like you're sitting there like studying someone's features and it's, I don't know, it just makes you, it's just so fun and satisfying to me. And I don't think I'm ever gonna be sick of doing that. I don't think I'm ever going to tire out from doing that. But I'm also just, my biggest reason though, I think, for doing this spread and just deciding to draw people is because I am getting so goddamn close to finishing the sketchbook. I'm so close to being done. I have like a couple more pages left, which I kind of have a plan for what I want to fill those with. But I don't know if anyone else has this, but like whenever you're getting very close to finishing a sketchbook, you just kind of like, just want it to be done and like you want to kind of move on and just start something new, and that's like kind of where my headspace is right now. So that's why I'm trying to kind of just draw what I'm comfortable with, because it's faster that way. And also I just really want to, I want to start something new. I am though pretty proud of myself though, because this sketchbook, it's the biggest sketchbook I've ever completed, I think, or it's one of the biggest ones, and it has like, it's a big sketchbook and it has quite a bit of paper in it. And I think it's been over a year now since I last started it, which is like really good for me when it comes to sketchbooks, because I take a while to complete sketchbooks usually. And this one I'm just like surprised with myself, because my last one, it literally took me like, I think like 2 years, and it was way smaller than this. So I'm proud of myself that I am as far as I am, because I'm kind of surprised that I was able to do the amount I've done in that amount of time. It's like a lot for me. And also just because, which I don't like really like rush through sketchbooks either, though. I kind of just take my time with them because I like to do that. I understand that that's not even really what a sketchbook is for, but I like making my sketchbooks look pretty, I guess. That's my thing, but I just really like sketching. That's my main thing that I do here too, is show stuff from my sketchbooks. So I do a lot of like completed spreads that are fully colored and everything too. So that's why it usually takes me a while. But yeah, I'm getting so close, and I'm very excited to share it with everyone eventually. It's gonna be a while though, probably because Inktober's coming up, and that's probably gonna take up the next month. So it's probably not gonna be till November that I decided to show it. And also I probably won't even be done with it anyway by then, because I'm gonna be busy with other stuff. But yeah, it will be coming soon, and I'm very excited. Overall though, with this spread of different drawings that I did, I think I am actually really happy with how they all turned out. I'm really happy with how I'm really happy with how they turned out on the page, and I feel like they were laid out fairly well, and I'm happy with how that looks. And overall, like, I don't know, it looks satisfying enough to me, which I'm happy with. And I ended up I think the only one I didn't fully color was the first one that I saw, which I did with pens. And then the rest though, I think, are fully colored with both the Hoohoo markers and Copic markers. Once again, those are probably my most used mediums that I use, so I decided to color with that, because again, comfort zone. But also I noticed too, like, I feel like I was able to get the base colors down a lot faster, and I was able to shade a lot easier because of I don't know, because this was directly after my last video that I did where I was practicing with coloring and using very out there colors and very crazy colors to draw and shade, and I was just so happy with those last two pieces I made. If anyone's interested, those last two videos I did are also on my channel with the coloring. But yeah, no, I was like going through a really bad art block for a while there, and doing those really like, I don't know, it just inspired me like a lot, and it got me like confident again. And I feel like that also really helped with these pages because I felt very confident with my coloring and like comfortable and good. So yeah, I'm happy that I did that in the end, and I think it really did help with these pages too, because like everything was just like it was going smoothly for me. Like I didn't struggle as much as I usually do, which is nice, you know. It's nice when that happens every so once in a while. I think for this one especially, I really wanted to keep to a lot more not cool, sorry, warm tones, which is like my favorite, probably my favorite look. I feel like if I'm like coloring something, I usually gravitate towards the more warmer tones. That, or I have like a very distinct love for like the blue, purple, and pink like trio. Those trio of colors, I just love how they look. So those are usually the colors I gravitate towards the most whenever I'm drawing or coloring something, I realize. And I'm really happy with how the hair turned out. The way it falls around her is very satisfying, and I'm really happy with. I also really like the orange I chose for this one too. It's a very bright orange, and also just like the red, or it's more orange. I don't know why I just said red. The orange and like green combo always looks so good together too. So I ended up changing that from the original picture that I was referencing overall. And just again, adding those little flyaways. I feel like I say this in like every freaking video of mine, but it genuinely does. It's so satisfying to me. I will never be tired of it. It really does. Like I feel like it just really adds shape to the hair, and it makes it look more. I don't know. It makes, because like, you know, like hair on people, like it's not like perfectly laying on our shoulders usually. You always have like flyaways. And it really adds just a little detail that really gives me happiness. And I'll never tire of doing it. This one, I'm actually really happy with this one too. This one gives me like I was, because it was a very like scrunched up position, which I'm usually not very good at drawing. I really do need to like practice more with anatomy, and I want to try to do more poses and more unique poses, because it gets boring after a while whenever you just see characters standing there. And I really need to practice more with dynamic poses, but I really like the pose on this one. I think it turned out fairly well, and also this gives me very big I think it's Victor Wright from Course Bride. He reminds me of him. I think he looks, and I didn't mean to do that, but you know, he looks a lot like him in my opinion. Also, I think that just inspired me to then to make this a black and white, just color it black and white, because I think originally I kind of had an idea to color it fully, but I think, yeah, it just fits the black and white vibes a lot better, I think. So I'm happy I decided to do that. And originally I was going to add a little bit more shading to the suit that he's wearing, but in the end I decided to just do a very basic, I didn't do very heavy shading on this one, which I'm actually happy with. I like the more simplistic look for this one, especially. I think it fits it more. And yeah, I think it just I think I eventually though add stripes to the suit, I'm pretty sure. Which once again, another thing of mine that I continuously add is stripes. It's an obsession. It also even adds even more to the Tim Burton look, which I do like a lot, so I don't regret it. I think I was also, with this one, I remember, because I was using the brush pen, I was really trying to find, like, usually when it comes to, like, doing brush pen and stuff, it can be kind of hard to control. So I was really, it took me a little bit, but once I found my groove, I was like, yeah, I think when it comes to, like, inking, and again, brush pen in particular, I think it's, like, important to not to overthink it too much. And I kind of like the more messy look when it comes to line art, because it makes things flow, I think, better, in my opinion, with my art. so I tend to kind of be a little bit more messy anyway, especially with brush pen. So yeah, I kind of just have to go for it and not get too nervous. I feel like the more like I try to be careful, the more shaky my hand is, and the more it doesn't look good, I find. So I kind of just go all over the place and hope for the best, which is probably not the best advice, but it's what I do. So yeah, and it usually turns out better for me than whenever I try super, super hard to make things look perfect, I find. So whatever works, in my opinion. And actually on this one too, I ended up messing up the eye whenever I was coloring it in. So I ended up just completely making the eyes black. And I added like, I made the irises themselves white. And I actually really like how that looks. So I'm happy I ended up making a mistake and it actually turned into something I liked more. So yeah. This one right here is honestly, it might be my favorite thing I did on the entire page. I love how this looks. I want to like make this a character. Like I like got it's like the way it was line art. It looks like it looks like it could be like in a storybook or something, which I love, like a children's book. And just like I ended up deciding because originally I was also going to color this one fully, but I decided to make it black and white instead and I just added a little bit of like pink. Which I love, by the way. I love just adding like one color in a black and white drawing. It's very satisfying to me and I love the way it looks. And yeah, no, I'm so happy with this one. And I also like I made like this kind of like fantastical like decision in my head too while I was making this. I like was coming up with a story for this random girl, where like I had this idea where like the girl and this bird that she has are like linked together, and I ended up at the very end. I like randomly, I don't know how this even came out of my head, but I ended up like adding like a little like scar on her cheek, and then I also put it on the birds, and I love like the idea of like them being linked together, and like whenever she gets hurt, the bird also feels it, and then if like the bird were to get hurt, like she would also feel it, and they're like, I don't know, I just love the idea of that, and I love this drawing. It's like this tiny little thing, but it was like I don't know, I love it. It was so, I don't know, it was very satisfying to do. And yeah, just that like pop of pink, I think really, really like just adds to it, which I just really love. And I'm also, if you know, like if you've seen any of my other stuff, you know that like I'm really bad with backgrounds. Like I really want to get better with them. I'm like bad at them. And I get impatient very fast. And like I get confused because like there's a lot of like foreshortening that happens and like crazy stuff you have to come into terms with when it comes to backgrounds. But this one I did like it's a very very simple like effect I did with like trees in the back. But it turned out so well, and I just love how it looks. I'm just so happy with this little drawing. It's like literally such a tiny little drawing in the corner of the page, but it's like one of my favorite things I've done. I love it so much. I feel like a lot of the time like the smaller little tinier things that I'm working on that I don't even plan on being that crazy with end up being my favorite things that I end up making, which is funny and ironic. But yeah, I was very nervous whenever I was coloring these trees too because I was like, oh, I really like how this looks. Please don't mess it up. Please don't mess it up. I was like, ah. But yeah, no, luckily it turned out in a way that I was very happy with, which is really cool. And I ended up also adding little bits of pink to the background too to really make it look a little bit more cohesive, which I'm really happy with also. And it just, yeah, brings it all together in the end. On this one in particular, I ended up actually shading it a lot more than I originally had planned. I think I was also going to make this one black and white, but I decided I wanted to color it because I really liked the colors of the image that I was referencing. And I also just loved this woman's like vibe. I don't know, she had like such a serene look on her face, and I just loved it so much. So I really wanted to draw it and capture it. And I really love drawing her hair and her eyebrows, but I love like really drawing like really like thick eyebrows. It's like I don't know, it's so much fun to do. And like I also love drawing like the really like tiny like eyebrows that some people will have where they'll like shave half of it and only have like the front of it. Also I'm really happy with how her jacket turned out. I ended up outlining it as you can see with this brown, and I'm really happy with how the folds in it turned out. I'm not great with like folds in clothing, But no, I really like how it looks, and like it actually does look like she has her hand in her pocket, which I usually struggle with stuff like that. So I'm very happy with this one as well in the end. And yeah, just I had a really fun time. I had a really relaxing time doing these. And I'm very happy that I did this spread. I think it was very fun and I had a good time. And I cannot believe that it is already the end of September and October. Like, it's like creeping up so fast, and I was like not expecting it. But yeah, I think next week hopefully I'll also be able to get a video out. And I want to also just talk more about what I want to do for Inktober this year, because I still want to do it. I feel like Inktober has like, it's not as popular as it once was. But I love it. It's probably my favorite out of all like the drawing challenges that are made and stuff. It's probably my favorite one to do. And I've been doing it for literally like, I think I've been doing it for like 7 years, which is freaking insane. That's crazy. But yeah, I'll talk about that more next week, but I'm very excited to talk about that too. But yeah, I hope that everyone enjoyed this video. If anyone's interested, I have a TikTok and Instagram that will be in the description below. So if anyone wants to check that stuff out, I post pretty frequently on there too. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll see you guys again next week, and bye.